All right. I was not planning on streaming today. I actually recorded a upload I was going to put up twice to cancel today's stream, but because I was able to go home and get some sleep, I feel at least more, I guess, adequate to go and try and stream at this point. So this morning, Trump tweeted at Sanders, and then Sanders responded to him, and I'm going to break it down, describe why it was funny. So today is, we have the Sanders Trump show, Sunday Twitter showdown, STSTS. Let me read it. Okay, Trump said,
Wow. Crazy Bernie Sanders is surging in the polls, looking very good against his opponents in the Do Nothing Party. So what does this all mean? Stay tuned.
and then Sanders responds by saying, it means you're going to lose. I have to admit that for a Trump insult tweet, usually aimed at the Democrats, this was actually kind of moderate for him. He didn't really, he does a little name calling thing, but he stayed away from going, oh my God, the socialist is leading, the socialist is in the front place. So that was nice, at least. The like ratio on this is really sided in Sanders' favor. Trump has 83.7 likes on his not very smart comments, and then Sanders' response has 349,000.6. So it's about, I think, 3 times the number of likes. I don't know. I'd have to sit here and get my calculator out, but at least 3 times the number of likes. And I always love it when someone gets directly tweeted at to Trump and they respond back and they get more likes than he does, because I always assume the position of president means you're automatically going to have more name recognition, be more known. So when more people are aware and more people follow you than somebody else, when you get less likes, it's amusing to me. Sounded like Giuliani a little bit. Well, that's kind of ironic. I should keep that voice for when we do the documentary, either this week or the week after that, depending on if I can recover from this damn infection. You said my friend brought up that every criticism that Trump has about Bernie's policies are the same as Joe Biden's. Yeah, they're both right wingers, are moderates, quote unquote, who attack domestic issues or foreign policy positions that are not in line with their own. I recorded an upload just last night where a Trump campaign statement, so not Trump himself, but one of his people said, Sanders can't be trusted to keep the U.S. safe as commander in chief. Why? Because he won't bomb the same 7 countries that Trump and his immediate predecessor have been screwing with for years now. So that was it was pretty entertaining. I laughed. You don't usually see that kind of that back and forth brawl between the two of them, and it's really amusing because I've actually kind of sat back and kind of counted how many people have Trump has directly mentioned in the primary. And he just kept on talking about Biden and Biden and Biden, and then a little bit of Harris when she was in, a little bit of O'Rourke. I said before that O'Rourke got a disproportionate amount of coverage from Trump, like responses. It was really weird because it's like you're polling at we call it 8th place, and you got the president attacking you and trying to make you seem like you're actually some standard bearer. It was pretty comedic, comic. God, it never ends. Like, I just read a story yesterday about his kill machine, and I have an upload with that as well. The supposed right-wing kill machine that one of his campaign people or allies stated they were going to use against Sanders if he wins the general. Like, you guys have spent years attacking this man in the exact same way, and now it's supposedly going to be more effective because there's like 10 more of you saying it. Are you kidding me? This person's a socialist. They want a program that's going to destroy this private industry. Their thing costs trillions of dollars. Like, we've heard it all before. Only people who are going to fall for it are those that, don't actually try to research this stuff or, to read between the lines. We're the party of fiscal responsibility as we triple the deficit. Or didn't it double under Trump? It was Obama cut it in half and it went right back to how it was before. Any other current Congress people that Trump has directly mentioned before? the squad, yeah, but outside of them, uh, I can't really think of anybody. I think he's mentioned Gabbard at one point because of the impeachment vote, but outside of that, usually it's pretty limited. Like it's the same couple of people that Oh my God, Louis Gohmert is so brilliant. Oh, Mark Meadows. Oh, uh, you know, the same few individuals just keep getting spotlight, and the rest of them just sit in the background and do what they do, which allows them to be more sneaky because they get no coverage. So there's no reason for them to try and do anything that's not, shady. I like how the first tweet I see on Trump's tweet is from NY for Sanders, which I'm going to link his Twitter in here because I've been seeing him for about maybe 6 or 7 months at this point. He usually leaves responses I find pretty funny. He posts a picture, just multiple pictures of, I think it was Trump with Epstein and then Trump with, 3 pictures of him with Epstein. It's like just, it has nothing to do, even as someone that is not a Trump fan, I can admit it has nothing to do with the tweet. And it's just, he's like, you want to talk about Sanders? Well, here's some pictures of you with a person who was, whatever. So I find that amusing. What about the Republicans besides McCain? We already know Lion Ted, little Marco, all that. And the thing with McCain was so weird because it's both him and Dingell that after they died, he just randomly kept bringing up over and over. But McCain was the worst because about 7 months after McCain died, Trump mentioned him like 3 or 4 times in 2 days or something. It was like, I succeeded on the veterans issue while McCain didn't, even though McCain actually authored the veterans bill and Trump signed an extension of it. It was comedic. It's like you're beefing with the dead man. Like trying to compare records. It's just so, oh my God, it's weird. Yeah, we got 354. Wow, it went up by what is that, 3,000 just as we started streaming. Damn. As I said before, nobody knew who Juan Vargas was to respond to the Ilhan Omar APAC scandal, and then went back to the background afterwards. Yeah, he disappeared after that. Was his little brief moment in the spotlight. That's like a running theme with people where they'll get these maybe 1 or 2 years of being relevant, and then they'll just fade away. Vargas is nothing. I had to type his name in to remember who he was. I've been in Congress since I was in ninth grade. I guarantee you, we couldn't find a single person that in his district or any other one that could name anything he's done besides say stupid stuff online. Told you, all these Congress members are really useless. But I told you that also the Republicans won't admit they're useless unless it's convenient. So you'll have Trump go and say, Sanders was in Washington for 30 years and didn't get anything done, even though he was known as the Amendment King. And when you're a member of the House, you have much less power than the U.S. president. So you have to go through trying to appeal to 300 plus people to get a bill passed. But, he'll say something like that. And then you look at the legislative records and accomplishments of the people that bootleg for him, and it's almost non-existent. Like, I can't name anything any of these Republicans in the House have done, any of them, except for Massey from Kentucky. Like, they don't do anything. And the few that do stuff usually are really well known for opposing their own party on key issues. Oh, Ruben, you never told me what your opinion was on Murkowski, because I remember you said you liked Collins, but I didn't know if you also were a person who liked her, because I defended one of these segments that TYT did on her. I was like, oh yeah, this is ridiculous. You guys are saying weird stuff to make yourself feel better. That's not right. Known for some really horrible policies. Yeah, she She's just like a warmonger, deny the environment, have a boatload of guns type thing, like just nothing redeeming about her at all. Not one issue. Like even with someone like Pat Roberts or a figure like that, they're bad on pretty much everything except agriculture. But I could still name something where they at least show some kind of decency. On her, it's just like nothing, man. It's total trash. God, and then remember the screwed up part is that if you look at her Senate race not this past year, the 2018 one, she was actually losing to the Democrat, and he was stupid enough to get up there and say, "I would have voted for Kavanaugh. Republicans, please vote for me." And they decided not to. That was a really winnable Senate race in a red state with the Democrats screwed up. That was not their finest hour. They were really arguing on Twitter. I agreed with you about Murkowski, or however her name is spelled. You got actually, I take that back. You got it mixed up a bit. I hope TYT realized that the Never Trump neocons like Crystal, Fromm, and Broom agree with them about both her and Collins. Yeah, it's like you guys sit here and you say all the Republicans are crazy. They're like the Borg from Star Trek. They all have this hive mind. They all vote with Trump 90%. And then you get someone that's not like that on a bunch of different stuff that we can name, and I even mentioned in the video. And now you go and say, "Oh, you're not moderate enough. Oh, you're not actually enough in favor of what we like for us to consider you part of a group of people that's not insane." It's just. But I told you, TYT is basically just a nicer to progressive version of MSNBC. I mean, I'm just so sick and tired of every day a Trump story, and they cover. It's like they have no tact of any of these Republican members of either the Senate or the House unless they've ran for president before. Like when they talked about Murkowski, it was literally as though they hadn't been here for the last 2 years because she's been spotlighted opposing the Republican orthodoxy on multiple key issues. We talked about her voting against the boss, against the healthcare repeal, against cap, and it's like they were there and they act as if that didn't happen. Oh my God. Are being one of the, what was it, like 6 or 7 Republicans to vote to get out of Yemen multiple times. And they don't just, not that, it's literally MSNBC light when it comes to their critiques of Republicans. Because I've watched that network enough when they talk about Collins is having a vulnerable race next year. I wonder if she's going to make it out. They don't actually discuss what that person has done. They just tell you that's a moderate person who might maybe possibly come over to the table. And I told you, pricks like Manchin, Sinema, Jones, they get to just skate around. No one critiques them. No one says, "Hey, are you going to stab your own party in the back to act like a little quasi-Republican?" No one goes after them for that. That's why I told you, if you're a moderate Republican, it's like you're just screwed both ways. Like you've got the stench of being a Republican, and then you've got, from by the perspective of Democrats, I don't care about party, and then you have you've got the Republicans on your own side who just go after you on pretty much every vote. Yeah, she was the only. Actually, the way it worked is that she said she would vote no, but because one of the others, I believe it was Steve Daines, he went to a wedding for his daughter, some kind of thing. She voted in spirit no, but in actuality she voted present. So basically her vote was neither way, even though she admitted she opposed him. But she did that because she didn't want the other senator, to have to miss his daughter's wedding. She was the only one who didn't vote for him or didn't signal support for him. I told you they went after Flake and Collins for doing that, but the one person that votes the way they want, no credit. I saw so much crap for like written on Twitter for like maybe 2 months after that. Oh, Palin's gonna primary her. No, she's not. That clown is done running for office. She's been done running for office since 2008. Oh, what's the other one's name? Ingram's gonna primary. Ingram doesn't even live in Alaska. What the hell? Oh, there's Meta Doll here to remind me that her mic doesn't work. So if you go on her stream and say hello, she'll ignore you. She might wink or smile at you. After that, she just disappears. I think they would have them vote against the alleged rapist. Yeah, you would think the same thing. I would think the same thing, but I told you, the only person that voted against him, they treat like trash. And then if you vote for him, they treat you like trash because you have an R by your name. Because they'll find other votes to start crying and having hissy fits over. So you can't win with them. That's pretty much how it is. Yeah, those poor moderate Republicans. I actually think, Ruben, I'm probably going to end up whenever we do the Giuliani one, which again is going to be a 3-parter. It's going to be like a toss-up between going back to the McConnell one and then doing ones of those two. Because I think probably out of the whole 50-something Senate Republicans, there's maybe like 8 or 9 of them that are actually worth me trying to make some kind of biographical work, because the rest of them are not special. They just go for the grain. They're nothing. Ojeda announced that he is running against Paul for Senate, and what the what? Oh, I have to see this. Oh my God, no. No, this can't be right. No. He went up like, oh, okay. He's running in the primary against her, and then he blocks her so she can't see his page. That's actually going to be a really tough primary for me. I don't know who to support, because on the one hand, I think she got really shafted with the Manchin thing, but with him, I just love that campaign ad, the one he had against was it Miller in that Republican district. So I'll probably just end up being a neutral force. I don't know. Imagine if we had that Senate seat. That would just be so wonderful, man. It would be like some kind of dream come true. Like, we got rid of Manchin, we actually put in someone that's left wing in the supposedly left wing party. What a perfect day. And then I told you that she got no media coverage. Was out fundraised, I think 10-1, and she still got 30% of the vote. That's how much he's hated his state. Like, if you look at the margins between when he won his seat in 2012 and then when he ran for re-election, there's a whole bunch of them. It's like so many people stayed home, just like with Cruz and O'Rourke. If you look at Cruz's 2012 victory and then the one in 2018, he lost 200,000 votes. That can literally kill your prospects in pretty much any state. That's why he just squeezed out. So, God, this Twitter stuff. I'm so glad we use this website anymore, because if they didn't ban me off of there, or rather suspend an account, I would still be on there posting links to like random Trump supporters. Here's a link. Here's a link. Here's a link. You want to come on here and write something stupid? That's your penalty. You got somebody. I mean, people have the right to respond to someone. So if I respond to what a person wrote, and they choose to go back and look at it, that's their problem. I just thought it was funny, just thinking about how so just being on that site and tweeting dozens of times every day to just not even caring to be on there. Like, you don't even log in your account for weeks. I really should make some kind of video. It's like it'll be titled "My Disillusion with Social Media," or like "Disillusion with Every Website Other than YouTube." God, God, he actually really tried to scare somebody with this. I wonder what these polls mean now that Sanders is surging. Means you're going to lose. Oh, I appreciate the endorsement. I should do that. We're gonna have like a little poll, be like one vote for this video, one vote for that one. What do you think about that professional Democrat propagandist and weirdo Peter Dow now claiming to be a big Bernie supporter? Every time I hear that name, I always think about it's a TYT video from right after the election. It was called something along the lines of Jimmy's message to Obama, and he had at the end he was like, "You're just as dumb as Peter Dow." Like I always, every time someone brings him up, that's the first thing I think of. It's like you compare the president to some irrelevant random commentator online, and now he's going around trying to make himself sound as if he's awakened, he's been reformed, he's now a true blue progressive. It's like, yeah, I don't know who you think you're fooling. Our advisor to 4 new progressives running in the Democratic Party. Oh God. Think how insane that is. Like, I can't be an advisor even though I'm consistent year after year, but then some prick and his little wife can, trash talk the progressives for years, and now they get to be on it, whatever. Double standard. Don't warn people about Peter Dow a few days ago. I'm glad. I mean, that man is a snake. If he was a Pokemon, he'd be Onyx. Yeah, don't trust him. He's a faker. I want someone actually to do that, to make a Peter Dow account and then like have a picture of Onyx on there. and like every message that it writes, like, trust me, please. I'm a progressive. Believe me. Trust me. And it's like, as it's saying that, it's like, never mind this video here where you can hear me disparaging multiple progressives 2 years ago. I am totally reformed. I wish I could pay people to do that. Have, like, during the stream, have a Peter Dow account with an Onyx as the profile picture, and then have a Neera Tanden account where she's like, I am now a Sanders supporter. I have seen the light of day. My eyes have opened. It just took 1,000 days of Trump for that to occur. What the hell did I miss? Well, it certainly was hell this morning. I actually recorded an upload. I didn't put it up because is a hypno. I can't get over the creepy rumors about that poke. Man, they find ways to do all kind of, like, remember the what is it, Drifloon, where it's like takes small children, tries to abduct them, but its hands are too small or fragile or something. But yeah, it was hell this morning, music fan. I was up until, that was literally 23 straight hours of being up. It was, because I woke up at 10 yesterday and I didn't go to sleep until 9 this morning, and then I woke up about an hour ago. Because these pricks got rid of my bed, but whatever. Oh my God. It's like they just find ways to ruin everything. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the rumors. Remember the Tails doll rumor from that crappy racing game? That it's gonna, like, if you beat it in the level, it's gonna come out and kill you or something. Oh, they do all kind of little stories online about that stuff. Turn this innocent child's cartoon character into some menace. Dude, when you watch those Republicans on TV actually discuss Sanders or any of the just random Democrats, it's like watching just some kind of alternate universe. Like, they asked them, what do you think of this Democrat? He's a socialist, and I don't believe Marxist philosophy is it. Like, what? And it's like, that's weird. And no one seems to imagine if I was actually like doing that. They say, oh, what do you think of this Republican? He's a capitalist and he's going to use his horrible ideology to destroy the, like, they use these weird, random, bold statements that they're not backed by anything substantive. It's just all this stuff, man. That's why I said they're the new Red Scare. Like, you saw the number of times O'Rourke got called a socialist by Cruz during that Senate race. It was, these people were like, it's actually pretty dangerous because they're trying to make the other side appear to be these, like, you even had the Texas governor call O'Rourke a cult-like figure. They're doing this weird smear job where it's like unethical to support a candidate. Like, there must be something wrong with you. It's just, and these are the same people who were crying and moaning about Hillary calling Trump supporters deplorables. Like, okay, if you don't want them to call her that, to call them that rather. Don't call the supporters, these other people, future communists, or like all these little stupid words. Creepy and uninspired game inspires an even more crappy and uninspired game inspires an even more crappy and uninspired internet rumor. Yeah, that's why I said, it's like when they play those games, they get so bored. They're like, let me see if I can think of something in my head that's more fun. That's how they get their kicks. I talk to people who proclaim being actual socialists. They take everything about the Democratic Party and the U.S. politics in general. Most of them are against voting for any. Damn. Well, that's why I said it's the fetus, because when you have people who are trying to, like, speak to your ideology and they don't have a flip-floppy record, you're just like, screw you. It's like, what good is that? That's why with Dore, he was like, oh, we need someone to vote for. It's like 100 million people stayed home last election. It's like, yeah, but if they get someone who's not of the same ideology as the people that they're opposed to, meaning you find someone who on multiple issues is different from the last person, they still say screw them. What else can they do? So I said it's all about defeatist stuff. Like, I got accused of that a while back when I was just talking about being sick of something, not actually quitting it, just not liking the end result. But to actually sit there and get the reverse of another candidate on almost every issue and say, because they're running, I can't trust them, just automatically means there is no one who can ever come around that will be different no matter what they do. According to you, anyway. And when I say you, I don't mean Ruben. I mean the just whoever these people are. It's forced pessimism. Yeah, we actually had a guy in my stream, I think it was the last year, who was like that, where he was like, it doesn't matter who you vote for, everything stays the same no matter what, might as well not even bother. It's like, okay, well, you're welcome to feel that way, but the rest of us who follow this stuff every day do not feel that way, which is why we have multiple people that we like, because they're different in what they advocate for, than the people who are currently in power. So I told you, it's like I just discussing this with some people is just such a hassle, because I try to get up here and make some argument that's at least backed by a little bit of objectivity, and then you've got some guy trying to basically throw the baby in the bathwater, saying everything's screwed, there's nothing you can do, abandon ship, close your eyes and allow the horrible stuff to continue. Don't bother. The world is ending. Let me get this drink. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I had this drink I was using earlier, but I didn't want it to sit over there and get progressively warmer and lose the bubbles and all that stuff that comes from it just sitting there without any kind of protection. I'd say this tweet probably is my favorite part of the day. They have all kinds of little people. Fake news didn't make it a talking point. Oh my God. Really? This person says, ask Bernie about this too. Fake news didn't make it a talking point at the time. The feds are still investigating, Bernie Sanders' wife for a possible bank fraud. So let me tell you why I hate this. Like, screw that it's trying to smear a candidate through their spouse. They did this investigation, this initial one. It was in 2017, early 2000, a couple of months after Trump took office, into Sanders' wife. And it came at the behest, and I don't remember the guy's name. It was Trump's Vermont campaign manager. So one of Trump's guys in Vermont said, investigate this lady for unethical uses of funds, blah, 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 because these people care so much about the ethical use of money while they're supporting and propping up bankers and people whose careers it is to screw people over. So they look into this. They say there is no evidence that this woman has used. She gets cleared, basically. And this person, their source, their reputable place that they're going to try to tell Trump to use in his quest to bring down Sanders is the damn New York Post, one of the sleaziest papers in all of human history. But that's why I told you that it's like, and here's what gets me. I've seen the same thing with some Trump supporters. They'll go and say CNN, NY Times, all these places are unreliable, right? Even though they're actually not. What happens is that a lot of the editorials, people will say stuff that's incorrect and then are position it to look weird, and then you have to go in there and correct it for them. But whenever one of those sources prints out an article where it says Sanders' wife is still under investigation, they share it. So that source was unreliable until they put out something you liked. I swear to you, there was a Trump supporter I spoke to 2 years ago, and it was when there was some kind of anti-Hillary story that came out, and I sent them because they had earlier talked smack about CNN. Oh my God, this source is so bad. I sent them the CNN article. They read it. No complaints about the source. No complaints about, oh my God, Clinton, like nothing, because they have an on and off switch when they hate a source. If it does what they like. Oh my God. Told you that's why I like using Twitter. The stupidest stuff. People just like this has 30 likes. This person says, yep, Trump is an amazing Christian. If you agree, say amen. The Fed said there was nothing to it, but then they said the same thing about Hillary. Bottom line is she, and no one in the school liked her, the Catholic. This like still has nothing to do with Sanders. It was a giant nothing burger. They called off the investigation because there's nothing there. If this is the best you got, we are going to win. That has 210 likes, man. You always got someone that makes a little bit of common sense. Told you, I just can't read that trash anymore. I just let them write whatever they want. I always expect that Trump would make himself president for life before he finally handed on the Oval Office to his idiot son or his son-in-law. Well, you saw the video I did where in the Republican Party, the top 4 candidates, what was it? Haley for no damn reason, Rubio for no damn reason, and Trump Jr. and Ivanka for nepotism. So, I mean, it's like, oh, I'm the sperm cell of this president. Love me. Make me his successor. I told you that Republicans love dynasties. That's why Cheney's daughter got to run for Senate and drop out and then run for the House and win. Always try to sit here talk about you need to make it on your own. I've never seen 45 Lives before. He's a new character. But they always say you need to make it on your own, straighten your back, work for what you want. It's like these pricks aren't working for what they want. They're going off their father's name. That's it. Give me a break. It's like it's really a coincidence that out of these last 3 presidents, 2 of them were father and son, and now I've got a poll of you people trying to make the daughter or the son. Basically, it's like a good 40% of the party wants one of Trump's kids to take over, but that's all a coincidence. You don't know what you're talking about. We get people in there that are honorable, principled conservatives that have earned our support, not people who just happen to be the sperm cell of the president. Yeah. Man, please. Creepy porn. Okay, Trump supporters were parading around the CNBC article about how Trump took out one of the biggest terrorists, despite it being their huge Democrat bias. That's what I'm saying. They pick and choose when to hate one of these sources. CNN is horrible until they start favorably covering Trump for a couple of days because he did something that benefits the warmongers that finance their show. MSNBC is trash. Until Trump does something that is supported by Boeing, which finances MSNBC, and they cover him favorably for a couple of weeks. I mean, give me a break. No consistency, no ethics, nothing, man. Told you, Fox and all these places could cover Sanders favorably for maybe 5 or 6 months, and I would always hate them for the years of lies and stupid panelists and people just saying weird stuff. I'd love to, after this election cycle is over, there needs to be like a 5 or 6 hour video of all the little idiots they've had on these different networks year after year saying strange stuff about this man. It's just like dumb, man. I depend for all of my Trump propaganda and lies. The InfoWars got shut down. I defended them not getting yanked. And again, they did expose the world to the fact that the frogs were turning homosexual. They did reveal that. That was groundbreaking information. It really benefited society, and it was very fact-based and well-sourced and documented, and all the other adjectives that could be used to describe accuracy. Where did all the people just stopped commenting? It's just Ruben and 45 lies. Oh, McConnell is still gonna. I don't care what anybody says. He's gonna win that Senate election next year, or this year rather. McGirth is a piece of trash. He's gonna get smashed. I'm gonna laugh. It's gonna be a repeat of the last time where, oh my God, look at this Democrat who appeals to both sides. She's gonna win, and she gets completely wrecked. And that was so embarrassing. Like they lost their best chance to get rid of him. And what was it like? They almost beat him in 2008. And after that, it's like between that and all the times before, it's always been worse. And they really had people prepping. We can do it this time. We can do it this time. It's about as interesting as watching paint dry. Well, Kentucky must love watching paint dry. They kept it for over 30 years. Frogs are able to change their gender depending on certain temporal conditions and are now doing this spontaneously because of chemicals pollution dumped in the. Oh, I know. I was just saying that segment that InfoWars had that I laughed at because it was so stupid. I thought it was funny, so I tried to parody it. I tried to pretend it was a real thing. Yeah, they broke the story. None of us could have ever known that. Music Fiend says, I am always here in your heart. Oh, I'm touched. He wants to know how to avoid the U.S. military's AIDS. Remember we're the world HIV. We just spread ourselves all over the place. You can never get rid of us. It's like 40 years later, we're still infecting you with troops there. Republicans is now the party of crime, criminal pardons, and cover-ups. They're the party of the triple C's. Crimes, criminal pardons, and cover-ups. I mean, we already said. I said before, back in November, if it's Trump versus Sanders, it'll be lies versus people. For that reason, they cover up stuff and they lie. I've known this since I read a study about acid rain when I was a little kid. But don't make me tell everybody about your secret. We know you went to Harvard when you were a child, so let's. We know you sat there with those fat cats on Wall Street, and you gave all your money to charity. You're feeling so generous. Trump versus Biden, the worst of both worlds. No, remember, if it's Trump versus Biden, it's a couple of gropers who can touch people the most. Who can be perverted enough for Americans? I want to actually do that. If we actually do get a Trump versus Biden election, which I hope to hell not, I would parody it like every week we have. We have a show in here called A Tale of Gropers, or A Couple of Gropers, and we just like discuss what they did that week. Like what one groper was in New York today, the other groper was in Iowa. No, the blue groper was over there, the red one was here. Sad thing is, what people they would both, even with all the little sexual stuff and whatnot, they would get just automatically tens of millions of people to vote for him because we have a crappy parliamentary system. Not parliamentary system, just crappy election system. So you got to vote for this person because you don't vote for them, the other one's going to win. Ranked choice voting, what's that? I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up because I'm having the, I guess, continuation of this damn cold. Hopefully, I can get rid of it this week. If I can't, then hey, we'll just because I already recorded the stuff for this week anyway. So, thanks for those who watched. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation and demonstration. And like I said, don't buy the lies. Don't fall for the tricks that these clowns online are saying. So have a good day, and thank you for watching.